Yeah, I hope no one rings me.
There's not many of the old veterans left now, is there?
I think there's 4 there actually today.
Yeah, well, they must be all into their 90s now. Must be.
I hope that is. Oh my lordy! Oh, do you see that?
No.
Do you see that on the corner of my? I thought that's a big spider.
Oh, it's on the thing, is it? Oh,
I thought it was at D-Day. I thought it was on the camera, but no, it's
on the sky.
Yeah. Right, let's go and make that a veteran, shall we? If I scream, you know why. Oh, where did it go?
I say you don't like spiders then.
No, I don't like spiders. I don't know. Oh God, no. Oh no. That was on. I missed it. It grabbed hold of the cloth. Yes, I know. But you didn't get the spider Pepsi. Right, are we doing scissor trim or are we doing clipper trim?
Clip it number 4 and number 7, please.
4 and 7.
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you very much. So is it nice being in the garage now?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
7 months it took us to get this done. And Michael and my mum can't pay for it.
Oh, right.
So we're doing 7 on the top, 4 on the back and sides?
Yes, please. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, because I was still having to pay all the bills at Warrington.
Yes, yeah.
It was financed by my mum and Michael.
Yes, yeah.
Well, that's one of the old veterans.
Oh, yeah, there's a few there, isn't there? Yeah.
My granddad was in World War II.
Right.
He was captured by the Japanese in Burma.
Oh, right, okay.
He passed away in 1994.
Right.
He was 82.
Yes, yeah. Yes, they've got some stories to tell, haven't they?
They
These
have.
old boys.
My granddad went back to Burma twice, I think, or maybe 3 times since the war ended.
Yeah.
But he never spoke about it. All
No, they don't, do they? No,
all he spoke about was that he was in Burma.
Yes.
And at the time, we were having to watch the Bridge over the River Kwai.
Yes, yeah.
And I was so excited about telling my granddad about it, and he was listening to me talking to it, and he was crying. And that's the only time he ever spoke to me about it. The buddy system is true, and that his buddy died a day before they were liberated.
Yes, yeah.
And that's all he ever spoke to me about it.
Yeah. Yes, you can't comprehend really what some of them went through, can you, really?
And when my granddad passed away, my nan spoke to me about it because she knew that I was trying to find his war record.
Yes.
And she goes, "Do you know why you never saw Grandad without a shirt or a vest on?" And it was like, "No, why was that?" And she goes, "Because he had scars on his back from where he was hit by the Japanese."
Yeah, yeah. I think they're quite brutal, aren't they?
They were very, very brutal.
Yeah.
And my granddad was one of the older gentlemen, so he always had a Tilbury hat.
All right, yes,
and he always had an overcoat. So every time he went, he always had his hat on.
Yeah.
Shirt and tie.
Yes.
And an overcoat.
Yeah. Very dapper.
Yes, and there was pictures. I don't know when I put them now, but there's pictures of my granddad in a shirt and tie, and he had some blue cuffs on over his shirt.
Yeah.
Because he was a French polisher and he worked at Whitehall.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, so. And I remember growing up, my nan had retired. And my granddad used to work Monday to Thursday, and you'd always have Fridays off.
Right.
And it wasn't until, I think it was 1991, when he actually stopped working altogether.
Yeah.
And he died 1994 at 82.
Right.
Every time he tried to retire, they'd
Yeah.
say, "Oh, they've made a mess up. Can you come and correct it, please?"
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I've tried to get his war records, they said because I'm not a blood relative,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't access them.
Right. Okay.
Because my granddad was my mum's stepdad.
Right. Okay. Yes.
But my mum was a witness at their wedding.
Right.
So, and also bridesmaids. So, but all my friends had 2 granddads, same as me. But one of their granddads was always Grandad Jim, same as me. So I always thought growing up that Grandad is a Grandad Jim.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So, stupid what you think about when you're a child, isn't it?
It's a different generation because when you're young, I mean, certainly when I was young, you always like even just friends and that you'd always say call them like auntie or uncle or something like that. You know, you knew them as sort of that type of thing. But now, it's all like kids today. It's all like first name terms, isn't it, and things like that now.
Well, even my best friends, her girls, and even her son called me Auntie Lisa.
Yes. Yeah.
My own nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews, they call me Auntie Lisa. But a lot of the kiddies who come in here, the ones who I've been doing for years, they call me Auntie Lisa as well.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And now I'm doing their kids now. So
That's scary, isn't it?
It is. Doing 3 generations of the same family, that's like, wow, that makes me feel really old.
Yeah.
But they call me Auntie Lisa, and they're making their kids are calling me Auntie Lisa as well. So that's really nice.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
And you can have a good laugh with some of them as well.
Yeah.
I'm doing Preston. I think I've done Preston on Monday, and I didn't film him. And he was coming up. He goes, "I want my hair really, really short." And it was like, "Really? Yeah, I want it really short. I want a skin blend."
Yes. Yeah.
Really, you moan at me that it's too short. So yeah, I'm not doing that. Or sometimes I get a message from Mum, and it was like, "He's going to ask for this, but please do this." It's like, okay.
Yeah. Yes, to see what they can get away with.
Yeah.
Thing is, when they're at school, with their school age, schools can be a bit funny about what they have done and things, can't they? Sometimes.
When I was in Warrington, I was contacted by the junior schools and a couple of the senior schools, and it was like, "Can you please advise parents that their child would be suspended if they went under a number 2 or they had funky hairstyles?" And it was like, okay. So I'd let the parents know, and it'd be, I can let my kid have whatever they want, and then the school would suspend them, and they'd come back and moan at me, and I go, "I did tell you."
Yeah, exactly. You can't do any more than that, can you?
Yeah, so, in the end, it was like, "Look, you know the deal with the school. If you want to go rent, you can't come back and moan at me."
Yes, exactly, yeah.
And they would always come back and moan at me.
No, parents have to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
well, why didn't you tell me? I did.
Yeah.
Well, it's your fault that they've been suspended. No, it isn't. At the end of the day, they're your child. I can only advise.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
If you tell me you don't want me to do what the school says, then that's down to you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. Some parents just don't want to take responsibility, do they?
No. But the ones here in Breton, I'm not sure. And like the parents go, oh well, it's fine. It's like you've been given information about what their uniform is.
Yes, yeah.
Their uniform includes hairstyles.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't agree with it. Well, you should have brought it up when you signed all the forms.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, and it's like, yeah, when you like enroll, they give you the forms of what is acceptable, what is not acceptable.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't like it, change schools. Because that's
yeah. Well, it's only having a fashion style. Yep. What is their uniform? No fashion styles.
Yes, yeah.
Well, they've been having a bad time, so I've let them have it. But you know what they're saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go to the media. Okay, go to the media. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, they've had a skin bend after their famous.
Yes, the
footballer. I was trying to think what it is.
Yeah.
But you know that's not. It's extreme fashion styles.
Yes, yeah.
And won the military cross during the retreat to Dunkirk in 1940, and again at El Alamein in North Africa in 1942. And the Queen was appointed.
Yesterday I had Band and Brothers on.
Oh right, yes,
and
yeah.
It was the D-Day landing.
Yes.
You may have seen the Queen on the front of our newspapers. Visibly moved.
There's no films about
during the recent events.
Our parachutists. There's only about the American parachutists.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's just typical Hollywood, that, isn't it? It's like it's always portrayed that America won the war for us.
They had a lot of sacrifices as well.
Oh, they did, yeah, absolutely, yes. It was a combined effort, definitely. But,
I mean, when you speak to like the kids and they go, "So, do you know what the D-Day beaches were for England?" Yeah, Utah and Omaha. No, that's American.
Yeah.
What was ours?
Yeah.
No, it's Utah and Omaha.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, it's Gold and Juneau.
Juneau, yeah.
And it was like, no, there was only Utah and Omaha. No, that was the Americans.
Yeah.
Oh. Gold was British.
Yes.
Juneau was Canadian. And Switzerland was Switzerland was out of it, weren't it? They were
neutral.
Neutral, that's the word.
Yeah.
Same as Ireland was neutral, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, it was Canadian and
That's
Australian.
right, yes, yeah. So one thing, I've never been there, I must admit, and it's one of those days you think it's like a lot of places. Like I've never been to Auschwitz, and I always think, really, it's not that you want to go as such, but you feel as though you should. Yeah, exactly. It feels as though it's like your duty to go, really.
It's like I want to go to Burma, or it's Myanmar now,
isn't it? Yes,
now. Yeah. Because my granddad was captured over there.
Yes, yeah.
But I'd also want to go to Normandy, and I was speaking to Scott, my next door neighbour, yesterday. While I was doing his hair, and he's got a motorhome, and that's something that I would love to have.
Yeah. And
go to Normandy. But my mum's dad, his granddad was my mum's stepdad. Her dad fought in the First World War, and he was at the Somme.
Oh right, yes.
So I would like to do that as well.
Yeah, I have done that. I did that years ago when it was a secondary school trip actually to the First World War battlefields and everything. That's really, and it brings it home when you go to like the war graves, the cemeteries, and there's, the amount of graves is phenomenal, and they're all like 17 years. They're kids basically. It's like yeah, it's quite moving.
I mean, my cousin Diane, she's done our grandpa, because we never knew him. Because he died before Diane was born, and he died well before I was born.
Yes.
So I think my cousin Diane was born in 61 or 62, and he died in 60.
Yes.
My mum was, I think she was 9 when he died.
Right.
But he had a damaged thumb, and he always told my mum that he'd done that to stop a German bullet, and that's how. But yeah, my cousin found Grandpa's war record, and he was so naughty.
Was he?
He was always being written up. Yeah, he was so like reading it back, and it was like, oh wow, he was really naughty. And that's during the First World War, and it's just like, what was he like to actually know?
I've never been back here for 80 years.
I hope that spider doesn't come and get me.
After all the terrible things I've seen.
I should have put it with my pickup stick, really, shouldn't I? Because I've had the operation, I'm not allowed to bend down.
Oh, okay, right.
So Michael bought me this. He goes, use this, and it's like, I don't think this is going to work.
Can we pick it up for you? Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right. There you go.
Thank you. That's
See, they're
useless.
struggling.
That's useless. Yeah, because I had a stomach operation, I'm not allowed to bend.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to drive for 6 weeks, which is just going to blow my head.
Yeah. How long ago did you have the operation?
Friday. So,
right. Oh, recent then. Right?
Yeah. So yeah, because it was Friday, I'm not allowed to drive for 6 weeks. I'm not allowed to bend to pick up stuff. And Harlequin, bless her, I used to pick her up all the time.
Yeah.
She goes like that for me to pick her up, and it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't pick you up.
Yeah.
So
when will I come back? Well, this is the last and only opportunity for me.
Who's that?
The last there will ever be.
Oh, is that actor in
I want to pay my respects
what's his name?
to those who didn't make it.
Taken Lord of the Rings, isn't he? I can't think of his name.
He read out his eulogy. Is it a eulogy? Eulogy is when someone dies, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, there's King and Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Prince Philip was it? Who is he?
Oh, it was Martin Freeman.
Is that it?
Yeah. It just came to me. I was like,
yeah. The Prince Philip. He was in the Second World War, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yes.
He was in the Navy.
He was.
And Queen Queen Elizabeth. She was part of the lands.
Yeah. She was the
She's done
land girls. Yes, ambulances up to the sort of like the army. Yeah.
Is it Waffa?
Yeah, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Women's. Yeah, they all played their bit, didn't they?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, King George VI. He was in the First World War.
Yes. Yeah.
He was in the Navy as well.
Yeah, they all seem to do a bit. I mean, even William and Harry did their bit of military service, didn't they? So
yes,
they all seem to
Harry is a veteran, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he was a Apache helicopter pilot, wasn't he?
Yes, and he was in. Is it Afghanistan or?
Yes, he did Afghanistan. Yeah.
Afghanistan or what's the other place?
Iraq, yeah. I think it was Afghanistan he was in.
Yeah, my nephew Jamie, he was in Iraq.
Yes.
And he came out of the army before he went to Afghanistan.
Yes, yeah.
But he was sure he shot at. But I know that he was standing there. What he said, he was standing there, and his friend was standing there, and his friend died, and he didn't.
Yeah,
so
yeah. There's a lot of stories like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine, lovely, thank you. Yeah.
And my nephew,
lovely, thank you.
Clark, he joined the army at 16.
Yes.
But he knackered his knee up. So,
oh, right.
So he's just been medically discharged, which is sad.
Yeah, it's sad, yes, when you go through all the training and that happens.